Hello everyone. So as per request via Formspring, I'm going to be doing a video today based on different types of brushes. Now in my videos I know that I talk about different types of brushes and I kind of do it on a little bit higher level than if you're a beginner. So this video is kind of going to be a 101 quick run through on the brushes I use most and just different things that you can use them for, stuff like that. So I'm going to start with eyeshadow brushes, and the first one is the basic paddle brush. Now this looks like this. This one's a little bit wet. This is a Japanesque brush. MAC also has one. This is the one that MAC has. Or you can even get them from like the craft store. This is from Michael's. It's a low Cornell brush. This is like $3. Works really well. This is generally used for eyeshadow placement. So if you were going to place like a color on the lid of your eyes, I generally will use this type of brush because it can pack color on because it is stiff and it has a flat surface, so it's really easy to pack color onto the lid of your eyes. So I really like that for this, or for this for that. Another one that I use a lot and will refer to a lot is to use a fluffy brush. Now when I say fluffy brush, this is the type of brush I mean. This one's a little bit dirty. Bear with me though. So you can see it's very fluffy. The bristles easily move. I can push down on them. It's not too stiff. And the thing with this is that it does not deposit color very well. So if I was to put eyeshadow onto this brush and put it on my eyes, it would be a very, very sheer layer of color. Since it doesn't have a stiff bristle like the first brush I showed you, the paddle brush, this one isn't very good for applying color. What I generally will use this for is if I have two colors on my eyes that I want to blend together so they create like a gradient, I'll use this and I'll just blend back and forth until the colors come together enough so that they don't look like just two colors next to each other, because that doesn't look good. You don't want this, you kind of want it to be like this. Does that make sense? So that's what I'll use this for. I'll also use this to apply color, but just if I want a little bit. For instance, with the color I have on right now, you can see right up here I have just a little bit of a dark purple, and that's because I applied it with this brush and blend, 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 and then it just kind of diffuses into a really nice sheer color. So definitely love this type of brush. Another one that I use a lot is this one. It's a MAC brush. I don't know anyone else that really sells a brush like this. This is MAC's 217. So it's kind of an angled natural hair blending brush. This one is also really, let's have it focus. It's really fluffy. It's wet right now, so it's a little bit fluffier than it normally is, but it's definitely not stiff. So this is another one that's really good at blending colors, but it is stiffer than that first blending brush I showed you. So this one actually applies color a lot nicer than the first one, the first blending brush. The second brush, hope you're with me. So this one I will use to apply color into the crease of the eye. And the cool thing about this one is that it will blend the color, but it also will apply it. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1. So it's really, really good for applying color into the crease. It's also really good for applying concealer onto your face because it will blend that color in while applying it, so you can apply concealer and have it look really natural. So I'll sometimes will apply it or use this brush to apply concealer underneath the eyes. I think it works really well there since that is such a delicate area that it'll apply it really nicely and it'll diffuse and blend in the concealer so it looks great. Another MAC brush that's also really popular is the 222 brush. Now I've had people say that they think this is like a fluffy brush, but this brush is really not good for blending colors. You can see that the bristles are really long and it's kind of a stiff brush. What I like to use this for is if I want a dramatic crease, this is the color, or this is the brush to go to, because it'll really deposit color in there, but it'll also blend it just enough so that it looks dramatic without completely blending it in with the lid color. So you'll still get a nice, dark, dramatic crease without really having to do much work. Good brush to have if you like to do dramatic stuff. Another good brush to have is the pencil brush. Now MAC has one that looks like this. This one's a little bit dirty. This one I believe is a crown brush or something like that. But these ones are good for a number of reasons. These are really good if you want to apply color into the inner corner, like I have right now. They're also good for blending out eyeliner on the inner and upper lash lines. You can also use them if you want a really like a cut crease. These can work really, really well because the color won't go so far since it's such a small brush. Or if you really want to blend just a teeny tiny area, which is why I think it's really good for blending out eyeliner and such on the bottom lash line and on the upper lash line. Another good brush to have. Then there is the angle brush. These come in all different shapes, sizes, lengths, etc. I really like using these for applying liquid eyeliner. If you're not good at applying liquid eyeliner with the standard liquid eyeliner brush, which looks like this, which you can also buy this type of brush as like a regular size brush, some people have trouble with that. And it makes a world of a difference if you take that and apply it onto an angle brush. It makes it a lot easier. It's also easier if you use gel eyeliner with this. Another good brush to have. You can get them in really small ones, which also help if you have smaller lids, or if you just, this might be a little bit overwhelmingly large. I also like to use eyeliner, angle brush to fill in my eyebrows. I just use a red-brown and apply the eyeshadow into my brows with an angle brush, and that's how I do that. But the angle brush I use for that is a little bit thicker. So you can, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, you probably can. This one's a little bit shorter and it's also thicker than this one. You can definitely tell if I do that. I apply on the brows with this one though. But again, it's up to you, whatever you like, brow thickness, etc. I also like this one. This is what I refer to as the magic brush. It's a super thick. This is so dense and stiff and big, and I love this brush. This one I really always use to apply to my brow bone, and I like it because if the eyeshadow goes too high up, it can just blend it down. This is a 227, by the way. I use this brush in like every video that I do. Alright, so then let's talk about face brushes. Now of course you can get this standard face brush. This is usually referred to as the foundation brush. People use it to apply foundation to their face. I really don't know what else anyone else uses that for. And then another good brush. This is another MAC one. Most of my brushes are MAC. MAC brushes, yes, they are expensive, but they will last you forever if you take care of them, which is more than I can say about other cheap brushes. So if you invest and you take care, they are really great brushes, and a lot of them are unique, and I don't know any others that sell like this type of brush. This is MAC's 168 brush. Looks like this. This is one of my favorite brushes because it is very multi-purpose. I actually own like 3 of them because of this. The first thing that a lot of people use this for is contouring. It's good for contouring because since it's angled, it fits really nicely in the hollows of your cheeks, and you can easily carve out your face and make a really nice contour line. It's also good for blush because, again, just the fibers, it's just a really nice brush. So, and I also use it for highlighting. So what I have, if I'm doing normal foundation, I use one for foundation and one for blush. For, well actually for all of my cheeks, because what I'll do is with one side of the brush, I do the contour color. With the top, I do the blush, and with this outside part right here, the more pointy part, I do the highlight because it fits really nicely right on top of the cheekbone. So it's like 3 in 1 right here. When I use it for foundation, I've had people ask me why I like this over like the Duo Fibre or this one or any others. I just really like the way it applies. I think it blends better. It's just so soft, and because it has all of these bristles, I think it just blends really nicely. I've always used this for foundation since like I can even remember. It's just a really good brush for that. I mean, it's, of course, when you're applying your makeup, personal preference is like #1, and some people might hate it with this. This has always been my favorite. I like the way it applies more than anything else. I just find it doesn't leave any streaky marks. It really blends everything nicely into the skin, and it just looks flawless. Love this brush. One of my favorite brushes. Another one that's very popular is the Duo Fibre, the Skunk brush. This is a 187 from MAC. This isn't a MAC brush though. But anyways, this one has a whole bunch of these white fibers that are spread out, as you can see, and they're filled in on the bottom with the black ones. And there are a lot less white ones, as you can tell. You can definitely see the gaps. And so that helps because you apply less product, and it also will blend it nicely. You can use this brush for a lot of things. You can use it for foundation. People use it for blush, for anything. MAC has a small one as well. I think they have 2 small ones now. So the small one looks like this, and then they have this one that I must have gotten sometime soon. I don't remember buying this. So yeah, these little tiny ones, a lot of people like to use those for a lot of things. And of course, you have your standard blush brush. People use these for foundation too. I personally just like using it for standard blush. MAC has a whole bunch of different sizes and shapes of these types of ones. But, you know, get the picture. Everyone has one of these. Another one is a bronzing brush. Now, this is a MAC one. It's incredibly soft. A lot of other companies make these too, but this is like the softest one I've ever felt. And it's a big, fatty brush. The reason that this is good for bronzing is because you want to bronze all over your face. So what I always say is to do an E3. So like this and like this, because that's where you want to bronze most. And because this brush is so big, you can apply a good amount of color without concentrating too much and getting like a big spot on your face. So it's a really nice brush. It's so soft. Big fan. Big fan. Speaking of fans, this is another cool brush. This one's so weird looking. And this is a good one too. If you're doing, let's say you do your foundation before you do your eyeshadow and you're doing like a smoky eye. You don't want to get that fallout all down here. So what you can do is take a brush like this and apply a good amount of translucent powder or your face powder, anything like that, and just pack it on right here so that there's a ton of it. So if any eyeshadow falls, it's going to fall into that powder, and then you just whisk it away, and then you're left with a nice highlight right here that the powder gives you without having any of that fallout grossness. So this is also a really cool brush to have. Oh, another cool brush that MAC sells is this one. This is the it's kind of brushed off. Maybe it's the 205. I don't know. Anyways, it looks like this. This is a really cool brush because if you have a problem with like clumpy mascara, let's say you have really long lashes but only a few of them, they kind of stick together, this brush is your friend because you just kind of pull it through. Kind of works like a spoolie, but it's reusable. Pull it through and it'll definitely separate your lashes. Cool brush to have if you have that problem. Also works really well if you need to apply mascara to your lower lashes and you have the problem of getting mascara all under your lashes. You just put a little bit on the top and just brush it through, and then you'll apply it without getting mascara all underneath your eyes. I guess I could talk about 2 more that I forgot. MAC also has these ones. This is like, oh, I don't know the names of these. 252 and 242 maybe. These are concealer brushes. They also work really, really well at applying color really, really thick. So if you want to pack on a color and make it really, really opaque, these are really good since they're so stiff. They really are awesome to pack on color. And then there's also lip brushes, which, if I can find one, tend to look like this. Super small. These are really good for applying lipstick or blending out lip liner if it's too drastic, applying lipstick so that it's very precise instead of being all over the place. Or these are awesome at applying color in the inner corners, color on the bottom lashes, or bottom line, lash line. And these are the brushes that I would always use when I would do rainbow eyes all the time. I would always use a really small brush so that I could get just a good amount of color in a really small place. So, also great brush to have. Okay, I think I talked about the majority of types of brushes. If you guys can think of any more, I might do this again. But hopefully this was helpful. Quick run through, even though this video is 15 minutes long. And then that's all. So, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope this was helpful. And I will talk to you later. Bye.